July 31st. The Trooper. Meta Jasmine had never seen anything like this before in her life. Granted, she wasn't the most normal of Muslim women on the planet, but this went beyond the pale. When she told her husband about what was going on, he flat out told her, "And I hope the bastard gets sentenced to whatever hell waits him. I don't care what religion it is, just stick him in the worst one." Having seen what she was witnessing now, she had no doubt that this monster was going to ride the world through hell on earth before he was caught. One man murdered. One woman murdered. One man joining his love in the grave. She never understood the Romeo and Juliet angle at all, but it wasn't until her cult or norm, she supposed. Then again, given that love suicide pacts weren't the norm here either, maybe it was just one of those things that was from a different time. "Hey, Mal," Cuffham asked. "Yeah, what's up?" "This is Fart Girl. Just a freaking girl not much younger than me. Dead. Her guy got off the deep end and then right off the deep end. And now, that woman there," he said, pointing to the shaking landlady talking to the detectives. "Don't look none the better either." "Yeah, I know. But it's up to us to find this asshole and put him back behind bars." "I'd rather put him on a firing squad," he said as the coroner's van drove off with the tracks and contents. Meltai looked down at her service pistol, bravely menacing her, drawing against the murderer in her mind. She had zero hesitation pulling the trigger against a monster like that, but it also made her think, what kind of monster would do something like this? She read the profiles, that most serial killers were young white males, but she also lived long enough to know that her people, once being considered weirdos and unusual, were now considered murderous terrorists. "Me too, Cuff," she said as the meat wagon disappeared down the street. "Me too." Just above, watching from a tree in the distance, Lacey slipped on her clothing. Contaro felt sensation like she never knew before. It was like an adrenaline rush, like orgasmic sex. But the moment she changed back into her human form, it disappeared. She wondered, was it the killer's instinct? The raw feeling of taking a life with impunity, with no one to stop you? Whatever it was, it felt good. Like you had to have it good. As she watched the cops get into the cruisers, she let down from the tree she was in, ran across the nearby yard, hopped to another fence, and then got into the car she had used to get this far. She heard it had belonged to Piano Bliss before she gave her life, defending the captain from Les scars. It didn't matter. Bliss had been a stupid cunt that had gotten herself killed instead of proving herself in battle. And that's just the way it was. Like that freaky wizard that worked for us said, the strong ruled and the weak surrendered. Getting the engine, she headed southbound towards Colton, where she would then take an alternate route back towards headquarters. Meanwhile, back with Rarity. "Has anyone tried to reach Fluttershy?" Rarity anxiously asked over the next call. "Yeah, me," Rainbow answered. "Old man says he passed out because of the news, and he'll have her call me later. Oh, and he said that he wants us to take care of each other." "Well, yep, I have the agree of him," Applesack added. "When Ma heard the news, she practically broke down. Practically refused to let go of Blooming. Pa had to come down to the storeroom and get her to let go. Nancy insisted Blooming and I come right home. I don't think I need to underline how much Ma's worried for all of us." "Yeah, I heard she's there," Pinky chimed in. "My mom called Auntie Cup and, well, I could still hear them arguing in the other room. Uncle Kara took the twins downstairs so they could sleep, but—" "I hope your mom doesn't decide to make you move home," Sunset answered. "Oh, no. Auntie Cup, wait, did she just—" There was a pause on the line. "Oh, wow, she did. Well, I'm not gonna repeat it, but Auntie Cup's mad right now. She says I'm staying put, so there." "Well, that's good to hear," Octavia replied. She was in her room right now, working with the replacement monitor she had brought. Hopefully, Sunset noted, her cousin wouldn't lose her temper again, though it was understandable. "Well, I guess there's safety in numbers," Twice said from her computer. "But I'm worried about the triplets." "They might be gone away from here," Rainbow replied. "But you know what? I'm fucking pissed. They're our friends. Well, they were supposed to be. And they just bailed like this, with no fucking answer at all. That's just dick. I swear to God, that's so fucking dick." "Rainbow, they might not have any choice," Sunset explained. "I mean, I think about when I first came to live with my family. My choice was to stay here or go social. All things considered, there wasn't much of a choice. Choice is entirely possible they had a situation just as fucked up. Then we should be out looking for him. They're our friends, and friends stick together. It was always amazing to Sunset how Rainbow would flop between criticism of her friends and being closer to glued to them. But given her status as the element of loyalty, it shouldn't have been much of a surprise. Rainbow might bitch you out, but no one better to have in a pinch, Sunset thought with a smile. Then a thought came over her. Does anyone want to have lunch? I hope you're kidding, Sunset. I think my mom's going to go completely out of her mind. She even thinks that I'm left home alone. Sunset was about to speak when she was completely caught off guard. Actually, bring your sister along, AJ. In fact, Rarity, Rainbow, you do the same. We should show them that Candlelight girls aren't afraid. We're stronger than the killer. Sunset practically wanted to leap out of her chair and hug her sister then and there. She never heard such bravery in her sister's voice. Until it was seen molten, Sunset's eyes glistened with pride for Twilight. Fucking hey, you're right, Twilight! Rainbow, would you please be more circumspect in your language? Some of us prefer more ladylike speech, Rarity groaned. In any case, I think that would be a fine idea, Twilight, dear. And besides, I believe it'll do my sister well to get out after watching that horrible conference. Yep, I think it's a great idea as well. If I let Granny know where we are, she's not gonna mind much. Canceling. Hey, no way skip tonight, you're missing this one. Can someone pick me up? You can't be a party that you're like a pink. A second later, Fluttershy popped on the line. Sorry, I, fainted. And Dad told me you guys were having a meeting. Did I miss anything? Only the fact that we're all gonna have lunch somewhere to show this poodle that we're not afraid of shit. Rainbow, language. No rares, Rainbow's rat. For a chase, Billy, but she's rat. Well, hold on a sec. Fluttershy had a quick conversation in the background. When she came back, she said, well, Dad just told me that he insists I take you all to lunch. He just gave me his credit card, so where do you guys want to go? What about the goalpost? Sunset suggested. It's fairly new. We could get whatever we want there. It's got good ratings on Yelp. Plus, if something happens, it's right across the street from City Hall, so the cops will be there in a heartbeat. Great idea! Pinkie cried. And since we supplied them with desserts, I know their desserts are good. I'm just never excited to try one or two or drink. Pinkie dear, please calm down. I suppose I could pick up Rainbow as good to do, Rarity offered. I could swim by and pick you up, Pinkie, Fluttershy told her. Okay, then, meet in Sunset, Octavia asked. They all agreed, and virtually as one signed off. Sunset logged off and set down her laptop, heading out of her room. As he stepped out, Twilight and Octavia stepped out of there as well. Twilight, that was amazing, Octavia guessed. I've never seen you like that before. It was like you were a totally different person. Twilight blushed. Well, I'll just say what I had to felt. Sunny does that all the time, and I guess it was something I needed to do. She leaned on Sunset's shoulder. And I couldn't have done it without you, sis. Sunset put her arm around Twilight. You don't have to thank me. We're family. She reached around and hugged Octavia, all of us, and we girls stick together. Yeah, Octavia said, looking at her cousin with love and telling the voice in the back of her head that no, she wasn't going to rip Sunset's heart out and feast on her entrails. Oh, shit. Thanks for calling me, Mel. Meanwhile, back with Shiny. Shiny and Sandalwood had moved on from the restaurant off to the Equestria County Fairgrounds, which was located in Bella Vista. The place looked lonely, as the county fair wasn't normally until next week. Given the situation going on, it wouldn't be surprising it would be canceled this year. A place like that would be perfect for serial killers to operate in, he knew. But that wasn't his worry. No. His worry was the girl trying to get a couple of cokes from a dilapidated vending machine. Matai had wisely called him to let him know about both her neighbors. And unfortunately, that also meant her apartment was inaccessible while the investigation team carried it out. Sure, they let her go to get into clothing, but she, the neighbor on the other side, would be barred for going home for the next couple of days. He texted Cadence with a simple message. Sandy 06. Cadence knew what that was, just by the historical reference. It was the year Sandalwood's grandmother had died, as he had been a complete wreck for a few days, needing attention for Cadence. A second later, text came back. Book us, 8. I'll make the reservations. As Sandra Wood came back with a couple of cokes, he asked, "How long?" "How long what?" The answer came as Sandalwood threw his can out. "Don't you dare treat me like some cow child, saying, how long has he been dead?" When he didn't answer, she threw her straw down and the can exploded, sending Diet vanilla Coke out everywhere. "I'm not stupid. When you did come over immediately, that meant something was up. Plus, the way you moved your fingers indicated you sent a text. Now, when did they find Ruby's body? And when did True kill himself over it?" Scientist looked at her surprised, not saying a word. So flipped him off. "You know what? Fuck you! I'll go find out myself!" She turned and he reached out and grabbed her arm, preventing her from leaving. "You better have a good reason for grabbing my arm," she growled, "'cause I'll fucking snap yours in half if you don't." "Sadie, for God's sake, listen to me," he told her. "I'm not trying to treat you like a kid, okay? I just found out from Mel." "Fine. She yanked her arm away from him and looked away. "Now relax, okay? I'm on your side." "Yeah, I know. Sorry. Lost my temper there," she sighed. "I never met a pair who was so perfect for each other like those two. They even gave you and Katie a run for their money. I looked out for them not only because Ruby reminds me a lot of Mitty, but also because True was a bit unstable, I think. He didn't just love Ruby. He obsessed over her. That's never good. That kind of stuff leads to abuse down the road. Seen it in one too many cases. I hope that butting into their life will calm down. Maybe it did. But I knew the moment she was gone, she was dead. I knew the moment her body was found, it was only a matter of time before he went. I don't blame myself for True. He needed help and medication. No, I blame myself for Ruby's death. Because I wasn't fast enough to put a fucking bullet in the brain pan of whoever motherfucker chewed her up and spit her out. That's what I blame myself for. Because I'm always second fucking place when it counts. You're not second place, Sandy. I don't know where you... You're an idiot, you know that? So you keep saying, but you're not explaining. I shouldn't have to, she said, sitting on the ground. You know, I remember when I used to come here and pick out cotton candy and ride the rides, and then throw up and get chewed out by my mom because I ate too much cotton candy and barked on Mindy just to tease her. Good times. You are weird, you know that? He said, sitting down next to her. Whatever, she sighed. I'm so goddamn tired of being second place, Shannon. For once, just fucking once, I want to cross the finishing line before everyone else does. So you want to cast this guy because you want the fame and fortune? He asked her. You know it's not like that. Could fool me with the way you're talking, he pointed out. I know, and I probably sound like an ass for that. Sorry, I'm like... She paused. They got off and pressed off her pants. You know what? It's not important. Now come on. I need to stop at the florist. Get some flowers, say my goodbyes to True and Ruby, and have you escort me to my place so I get a few days' worth of clothing. Your cat's still open? I thought you hated our couch. I hate paying for a hotel room even more. HR takes forever to reimburse people. Meanwhile, back with Celestia. Celestia rushed down the steps of the school district building. Sabra, wait! He stopped in mid-stride, looking at her with a smile. Sorry about that, Tia. Lost my temper in there. Thank God Waddle's a fine father-in-law, or... Well, fuck it. He probably is going to rag on me anyway, he said with a laugh. I suppose. I just wanted to check on how you're doing. Your school is year-round and... Look, though I hope to change their path in life, I cannot deny that the grand majority of my students are gangbangers, criminals, and other lowlifes. I want to raise them beyond that, sure, but until I can, they are what they are, and right now, that's an asset for them, and frankly, I'm conflicted. Conflicted? He nodded. Until this guy's caught, what do? Steer my students towards nonviolence, or let them stay the way they are and give them a fighting chance. You know they already got a dozen strikes against them, scholastically and extracurricular. They'd be a prime target for any serial killer, and I bet the Sunnytown PT wouldn't pass a bad eye if they're gone. But to me, they're not statistics. They're my students. Take, for example, Painted Lady. She's originally from Colton High. Got her tossed out because she got in a fight and stabbed a teacher with a small Swiss Army knife. Girls got a mouth like a gunnery sergeant and tried to proposition a couple of her teachers. But she's smart, AP level smart, and she's fierce, and admitted to a counselor she wants to be a doctor someday, but can't because she lives with her grandmother because both her parents are in jail. If I could steer her away from what she is afraid is her destiny, she's got the chance to be something far better than some thughead in training. He threw up his hands and added, but can I do that as she heads dead on someone's doorstep? I'm sure you'll figure that out, Sambla. Luna had said, voiced that, coming down the steps from after both of them. It's why you're still at the planks after all this time. He gave her a smile. Maybe. Wall offered me Northglades High, since Pinstripe's retiring, but I couldn't. My job's not done at the blanks, not to my satisfaction anyway. But for now, I've got to let my staff know that they can dial up mean son of a bitch mode. These kids are my responsibility during school hours, and I'm not going to let a single one of them fall if I can help it. Now, if you excuse me, I promised my wife I'd be here for lunch since I'm in the area. Talk to you again soon. Nodding to both of them, he walked over to the car. He deserves better than the blanks, Celestia said admirably, but they sure need him. I agree, Luna commented. So, want to tell me what's on your mind? It's plain as the look on your face, you know. It was an idle thought, Celestia sighed. You know I would never endanger Sunset like that. Well, that wasn't exactly what I was thinking where your mindset was, but I'm glad it's not completely out there. Well, I would be thrilled if she would be able to help us in this situation. Remember how much she exhausted herself during the Vibe incident, and how much we worried about her when she went through the mirror, and aside from that, she might far be more powerful now. But in the end, she's still just a teenage girl, and that puts her directly in the crosshairs already. I wouldn't dare do that to her. You mean you wouldn't want Velvet to beat you within an inch of your life? Luna mused. Exactly. Celestia showed a grin. So, no. Even if she volunteers, I'm against it. I've grown to like the person she's become, and I would be heartbroken if we lost her. So would I, sis. So would I. Meanwhile, I'll back with Princess Twilight. Thank you, Sparrow Speed, Princess Twilight said, acknowledging the Pegasus guard before her. Please, rest before you return back to Camelot. Of course, Your Highness, the guard said, bowing before he let go to Noakes. Oh my, Twilight, what's that? Fluttershy asked. The two were going last-minute details before their plan to teach Rainbow Dash what she needed to know for her Wonderbolts test. Fluttershy privately had been briefly worried about playing Celestia after her prior disaster, but Twilight asserted that everything will work out. It's a book, Twilight explained. Apparently Raz wants me to look at it, given that it might contain a clue from Sunset's world. Oh my, the Pegasus stated, sighing eyes gazing at the Ebon-bound book. It looks scary. Twilight gave her a worried friend a covering smile. It might look scary, while all the books in the end, and even the magic ones, are just paper and ink. Sure, they might have curses on them or specific pictures inside, but books in and of themselves are just that. Books! Twilight's words, Fluttershy died right underneath the table, and Twilight mindedly tidying for her slip. Don't worry, Fluttershy. It's a book from the human world. There's not much chance of it being dangerous. Remember, no magic in their world? Sorry, forgot about that, Fluttershy admitted, sitting back up. It's okay, the Alcorn reassured her. It wasn't as though we were used to magic books being not really like that. She looked at the book in the cover. The Heptatamaron. I wonder what that means, she said, before using her telekinesis to open the book. A deep, bassy rumbling hum that seemed more at home than one of Final's Grass's speakers seemed to radiate from the book. And a shockwave of smoking, undulating energy, hued as red as blood, blasted forward from the book, catching Twilight off guard. Fluttershy ducked under the table to save herself, but the bow's shock continued past them and through the walls, expanded forward, the deep tone of the magic blast continuing with it till it faded into the distance. What was that? Fluttershy stammered as she dared to peek up from her hiding place. Twilight was about to answer when a group of guards waxed in. Wasting time, Twilight ordered, Racewing, get out your biggest Pegasi, and have to chase that blast. It might be harmless, but I want to make sure. Understood, Your Highness, Racewing said, saluted and wandered off. Fluttershy, relax. I'm going to put this book in a containment spell. That'll check you out to make sure there were no ill effects. I feel okay, Fluttershy said, taking herself. I want to make sure. Be right back. elsewhere in Equestria. He heard it. Over the sandblasted hills and burnt cascade sides, he heard that, clear as a bell. That deep pulse of tone that gave him both direction and purpose. The withered, wounded creature gave a smirk of a smile.
Ah, yes. That is where he's at.
The creature wandered towards the center of the sound and towards destiny. Hiya, Sonny. The girls had no sooner walked to the restaurant when they were waved by another table. Bonbon waved to them from a table containing her, Lyra, Trixie, Compass Rose, and Rose's girlfriend, Boysenberry. Too bad I don't know if this author read Gludiverse. Would have loved it if it was actually Bonbon, Lyra, Trixie, Carrot Top, Raindrops, and Cheerilee. And Derpy. Thankfully, the table had already been lightened, so the eight amazing eight made room for themselves as everyone said hi, and there were more menus brought out. So, what are you guys doing here? Applejack asked. Rose pressed slightly, saying her usual soft voice. Well, I thought it would be nice if we go out for lunch to show the killer we're not afraid. Take a stand, as it were. Bassett, as always, Boysenberry grinned. And since none of our usual circles available, we decided to come on our own. We saw Trixie, Lyra, and Bonnie here, so we thought we'd park by them. As for us, we thought the same thing, Lyra Grant explained. I take it you did too? Twine nodded. My idea, the girls agreed. Well, we just got here ourselves, Boysenberry said, so have a seat, we can talk. Olin, don't worry about your bills, Forsythe said with sweet smile. Dad gave me his credit card, so I'm taking care of it. Wow, thanks, Flyers, Lyra commented. How are, well, you know. The self-on-hair girl smiled demurely. Now that we mended fences, it's finally nice to know what I've missed. And now Tad can be himself outside of the cameras constantly. He's doing a lot of stuff people didn't expect. He's planning to buy CHS all new musical instruments, both for the class and for the band, and he's talking about helping out fund a new after-school program for the county. Wow, never would have expected that, Lyra said to herself. Discord. Wild child of rock turns out to be a family man. Who knew? Boysenberry's eyes widened. Wait, your old man's Discord? Duh, Barry. We found that out last episode, Rainbow groaned. Didn't you watch the concert at the beginning of the month that was on TV? Claire's performed the whole set with her dad, and she fucking rocks the guitar and other instruments. You should have seen her shredded on the guitar on stage. I wish I could play that good. Of course, I had to learn how to play a guitar first, but... Rainbow, darling, perhaps you should watch Poor Dear Phenicide instead. Sure enough, Fluttershy, mortified by a combination of attention from the other restaurant goers, Boysenberry's look of sheer admiration, and Rainbow's incredibly laudatory statements, did what any normal girl terrified of everything would do, duck under the table. Oh, sorry, Flares, Rainbow apologized. Fluttershy squeaked, something approximating an acceptance of her apology, managed to crawl back to her seat just in time for the waiters to come out and take their orders. A few minutes later, the group was snacking on various appetizers and chatting along breezily. Comfortable in her seat, Sunset looked at her in a circle of friends, from those closest to those newest in it. Boysenberry had admitted to Rose that Sunset had eyes that screamed "Do me now," much of the former unicorn's chagrin, and smiled. She knew that Princess Twilight had moments like this. Sunset no longer had to envy her sister's counterpart, but now she had the same luxuries of amicity brought to her joy. But a circle of friends was missing 3, and 7 other girls knew it. Each of them could practically imagine Adagio discussing a highbrow topic of rarity, Octavia and Twilight, Arya probably laughing to a rather earthly joke told by either Rainbow or Applejack, or Sonata most likely challenging Pinkie to a contest of who could stuff the most jalapeno peppers into their mouth. The 3 were part of their circle, and would always be. They made their absence all the more disquieting. Hey, just noticed something, Bonbon spoke up. Where are the Trippets? Usually they're here with your gang. Not a single one of the girls in question spoke up until Octavia deflected with, They're all the time right now. I think they're on vacation, but I forgot to ask. Wow, you guys look glum, Lyra added. What, you joining the hip with them? Nothing of the sort, Lyra, dear, Rarity chimed in. It's just Twilight's birthday next week. I was hoping to be back by then, but you know how family vacations are. Yeah, tell me about it, Trixie chimed in. Most of last month was spent on the road with my family, and let me tell you, Branson, Missouri, tough crowd. Rose then asked more about it, and the conversation then descended to the explanation of Trixie's travel with the amazing Lulamoons and all that it entailed, including a few tricks she performed on the spot for her friends, getting a few claps from the surrounding tables as well. As the food arrived, a baker's dozen worth of girls chatted and ate food, their worries and cares forgotten for the moment. While they would return once the group departed for the restaurant, for now, everything was right with the world. You okay, Katie? Heartsflutter asked. Meanwhile, she's probably missing her Snoopy Boo, Amicus Brave teased. No, thinking about tonight, Sandy's neighbors were two of the victims. She kind of attached to them, so she's staying over until she could get back to her place. Heartsflutter Dr. Burger. Are you fucking stupid? She's my best friend, Hearts. Are you planning to offer your couch? I don't have a couch. Just some beanbags my boyfriend couldn't part with, Hearts replied. Sighs. I know better than to fight the serpent into the Garden of Eden. I trust her. And him. You're one of my oldest friends, Katie, but you're a fucking idiot. Amicus stopped mid-bite from her salad. Did I miss something? Old history, the other two women said at the same time. Well, want to update those of us who didn't grow up here? I swear, for a city as large as Cantalon, everyone seems related to or grew up with one another. I don't know about you ladies, but that's just as freaky as fuck to me. Katie said nothing, but stormed out snarling, I need a drink refill. Okay, Hearts, what the hell just happened? Katie will get over it, trust me. As long as Katie, me, Sandy, and Lemony have known each other, we've drawn blood against each other, and we're still tight. It's just, well, what? Hearts groaned. Sandy's always been in love with Shining. I knew it! But she's always too chicken shit to admit it. She's had a chance to go after him, but because she and Katie are so tight, Sandy, and I quote, sacrificed herself for the greater good and all that shit. Hearts took a swing and added, that's why she joined the Navy immediately after she graduated high school. It wasn't to see the world, or because her old man was a sailor too. It was to get away from them before her heart got shattered in a million pieces. Problem is, she came back, joined the sheriff's department, and now thanks to the world falling apart, she's partnered with Shining. Look, I don't think she and Shining are up to squirrely shit. They both care about Cadence too much to do anything like that. And besides, Shining's too dense to even know how Sandy feels. But I could tell it's driving Sandy nuts as fuck. Something's gonna give. I hate to see a lifelong friendship between Sandy and Katie get nuked because, well, you know. Heart shrugged her shoulders and went back to her burger. Amicus looked at Hearts, then at distance where Cadence was blowing out steam by somehow managing to fill her shoulder both with Diet Coke and raw anger. They looked at the window. Mom told me I should have went to college in New York, but I didn't listen. No! She muttered under her breath. Cadence came back. Hearts looked at her. Sorry, Key, but that's how I feel about it. Lemony would tell you the same thing. I know. If it was one of you involved, I would have turned to Sandy for advice. She said the same thing. But she needs help. She turned to me and Shining. Take my advice. Don't do this. I know they won't do anything, but you want her to hurt her even more? No, but what's the alternative? Threesome! Especially one that doesn't make her think I don't trust her. I really don't know. But, Counselor, that's why you're a lawyer. You're a professional liar. Better start thinking of one. Meanwhile, back with Velvet. Come in. Velvet put her from her desk. Was his current soft with paperwork. Here, thought you could use this. Knight was at the door, carrying a grease-stained paper bag and a pair of styrofoam cups. You didn't, Velvet said, a look of higher delight coming to her face as her husband sat down in the other seat and said things on a clear spot of the desk. Aren't husbands supposed to come to the rescue? He asked, pulling out 2 pastrami's on rye, handing one to her, then chips on one of the cups. Besides, brisket Brian's Deli is on the way here, and I know how your day was. Probably haven't left for lunch. Velvet attacked the pastrami on rye, managing to say, I love you around mouthfuls. Slowing her bite, she took a draw from her drink, then grinned. Knight, I swear I'd marry you all over again if I could. Where pastrami was that good? He teased. But how's your day going? Phil then launched into Barca's retirement, Mercury's untimely delivery, and the fact that she now had the whole kit and caboodle to look over, especially in a time of crisis as of now. Wow, he says his wife finished both explanations and a meal. And I thought just having extra security guards at the university was going to be a headache. I swear I trade for that meeting I need to have in an hour with Sarah Cherry. Guy rubs me the wrong way, I swear. Then I did produce a second bag, containing cheesecake from Brews and Bakes. A Sugar Cube Cafe was still closed for inventory restock. Does this rub you better? Selva took one and blew her husband a kiss. Mister, you can rub me any way you want, she cooed. After thinking about she batted, seriously though, we should probably think about the girls. I know we laid down the rules, but I don't think it'll be enough. One of them, it should be noted, is very strong. I don't think Sunny's a problem, sweetheart. If anything, she seems a little too eager to please lately. She's worried we'll change our minds on adoption. Actually, I was talking about Tavi. Welcome to the middle of the night a couple of nights ago. Just happened to look out the window. Thought I saw her walking around outside. And naked, if you would believe that. Went downstairs to check. Should have checked the girls' rooms first, I know, but I didn't see anyone. Checked in the sitting room, and there they were, fast asleep. Weird as it could be. She set down her cheesecake and added, maybe I imagined it, but I do think that what's going on is getting to her. Tavi probably feels Sunny's pending adoption sidelining her. And her birthday, especially your parents' hijinks, didn't make that better either. I know. I say my parents learned their lesson, but these are my parents we're talking about. Regardless, I think you and I should have a talk with her. She needs us, probably more than she ever has before. Night-night, of course. She's just as much family as Twilight or Sunny.